So, the second season of Severance is about to pop off. And I noticed in my YouTube algorithm that there's a bunch of videos being suggested to me that supposedly break down Severance, and because apparently there was, such a big, I don't know, people found it hard to explain for some reason. I don't understand why. And maybe, well, let me backtrack on that. If you have never worked in an office, then maybe you won't understand what a soul-sucking, lifeless system that capitalism is. I don't know. That's possible. Though I feel like if you worked in any other industry, such as the restaurant industry, whether you've worked in fine dining or whether you've worked at McDonald's or that bitch Wendy's or Murder King, it doesn't matter. The restaurant industry is a cesspool of exploitation. So if you worked in the restaurant industry, you know that capitalism is bullshit and that this whole game that we're playing is bullshit. We've been hacked. I'll just say that. And as Severance tells you, we've been hacked by ourselves. See, I bet you thought I was about to go down the rabbit hole of, past existentialism, into Buddhism or whatever not segment, but whatever sect of Hinduism that, all of these particular philosophies and systems that nod to us being in a simulation, and not only being in a simulation, but being in a simulation against our will, and not only being in a simulation against our will, but a simulation against our will in which there is no recourse to resist or fight back. You were close, but no cigar, because where I'm going is where Severance went, which is that all of this is of your own doing. Severance perfectly and simply illustrates that the corporate world, corp means dead, the corporate world is a soul-sucking mechanism that we subject ourselves to. And we know it's wrong. Severance also beautifully not, and it's not difficult. It's not written, abstractly or anything like that. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. The only thing I could think of that's throwing people off is that for the so-called innies, which I also found was quite interesting, a parallel between this show and another show that I just finished watching, an older show called Expanse, which was also dealing with an other, with an other quote unquote alien entity that was attempting to change humanity, right? This is, all of these shits are just different, same message, different packages, different delivery. But the bottom line is that we do it to ourselves, and we know we're doing this shit to ourselves. We know we're killing ourselves slowly. But guess what? We do this shit anyway. Because for whatever reason, I'm not going to say for whatever reason, and I might end up striking that line, because I do know why we do it. We do it because of fear, which is the most base instinct, and not just any fear, but fear of, which is the game that those who have the illusionary keys to Oz right now. Though, yeah, those who have the keys to Oz at the moment have convinced the majority of us that they have the only legitimate access to housing, aka shelter, to food, to water, to safety. Those are the things that we as humans value most and are most afraid of. Besides, of course, well, separation is one of those as well, but we could get into that on another little ditty about the things that humans most fear and how those are exploited by those who currently have the keys to Oz. I won't say the kingdom and I won't say the system because they don't. They just got the keys to Oz. But the wizards have convinced us that without them, and if we decide to rise up against them and stop playing this sick game that Severance shows us that it's a sick game that we play every day against our best interest. Like the whole illness, the reintegration illness, that is showing us our body, how this is literally showing you the process of disease. Petey. The longer Petey is out of that shit, the more fearful he is of getting quote unquote caught. And then also the more that his mind begins to integrate so that he can't hide from the bullshit no more. Right? That is the process of disease. When your body tells you, no more. We're not doing this shit no more. Your mind may have been able to be, altered or programmed. Again, like Severance shows that we are humans at our biological core are programmable systems. We can separate the mind. And again, Egyptian, this is something that Egyptian or Kemetic philosophy spoke about at length. They spoke about us having 7 bodies. Many systems of Hinduism also spoke about the human being made up of several different systems. So all of this shit, it seems like it's science fiction, but the shit is science fact. It is possible to sever the consciousness, which is how most of us walk around today with severed consciousnesses. We wear the mask, Paul Laurence Dunbar. We wear the fucking mask every single day. That we accept what the wizards have put on that boob tube, that portal that most of us watch, whether it be in the form of the portal of the phone, the form of the portal of the PC, of the laptop, of the smart TV or the TV, whatever kind of portal you have. Regardless, you got some type of portal. And their, excuse me, the wizards' motivation and impetus every day when they go to bed and when they wake up is to try and convince you that you need them. Whether that be through necessity or whether that be through fear. And Severance also shows you that, the carrot or the stick. You can get the carrot. Yo, you behave. You do this dumbass numbers game on this stupid ass computer that's killing my fucking eyes. And you might get some melon balls. You might get a waffle party, nigga. You might get a waffle party if you behave. If you pretend like everything is okay. If you don't happen to have a psychotic break at work. If you don't happen to go postal. You get a waffle party, or you might get some melon balls. You might get a pizza party or something. They might give you a gift card to Pips. But as PD shows us, as the woman at the beginning, I can't ever remember her name. I want to say her name is Helen. I forget. As the woman who repeatedly is the ride or die runaway slave, even though her other self tried to put her in captivity. See, and this also shows you too how disease comes apart and comes about in the body when we war against ourselves. Because see, Petey warred against himself for so long that now it's a goddamn chronic disease. This motherfucker got cancer. You feel what I'm saying? He bleeding from the nostrils. His mind going crazy. He don't know whether he coming or going. Meanwhile, baby girl, she like, okay, yeah, y'all done showed me a video of myself telling me this, that, and the third, that yeah, I consented and I agreed with all of this. Let me look up her name real quick. Woman in Severance. So I'm just stop calling her baby girl. But yeah, she was a ride or die runaway slave. Cause it don't matter what Helly. Yeah, I loved it. They wanted to call her Holly, but I'm guessing they calling her Helly. Cause baby girl was raising hell. Sis was raising hella hell. Helly was like, nah, I don't give a what y'all trying to sell me. I don't give if you bring out this damn video showing me that I said that I consent to being a slave to this every day for 8 hours. I don't know. I feel like I ain't never went home. Excuse me. I feel like I didn't go to sleep. Excuse me. Helly was pissed at her, what they call outie self. Oh, and I skipped the part, the correlation between Severance and The Expanse. Both of those shows refer to, have different classifications, even though in The Expanse it's expressed as actual different people, like the people that live on Earth was called the Innies, right? And it lived on Earth, and planets like Mars were called the Inners, and the people that lived on the asteroids and the belts and the other non quote unquote planets was called the Belters. But I see a correlation between the Innies and the Outies and Severance, and the Belters and the Innies and the Inners and The Expanse. Although the role is flipped because in The Expanse, the Innies were the so-called villains or the bad people who made the Outies or the Belter slaves. Whereas now the Outers, they made the Innie slaves in Severance, which is nothing but you, and you. You think you can sever your mind, send your body off, pump your body full of some goddamn Red Bull, full of some goddamn cocaine, full of some goddamn Molly, full of some goddamn MDMA, full of MDMA. Pump yourself full of all of this shit so that you could go to hell every day. So you go to the quote unquote corporation, a place where the dead people live. I thought hell was full of dead people. So you go to, because it ain't heaven. So call it what you will. The afterlife. Wherever life you choose to call it. It ain't my heaven, so I'm going to call it a hell. We pump ourselves full of shit. We give ourselves pep talks. We force ourselves. We try and carrot and stick ourselves rewards for going to hell every day and subjecting our bodies every day without our full spiritual consent. Cause see, that was Helly's spirit. That was her spirit that kept bucking up. Like, wait a motherfucking goddamn minute. I'm doing what? For who? Why? Why am I here? There's no meaning here. I am doing nothing of substance. I don't know any of you people. I don't like you motherfuckers. I don't want to work here. I don't want to see you niggas every day. And who said I gotta come? I said I gotta come? Oh no, we need to send her a message. And you see how they cut off? They also illustrated perfectly how we do things to cut off communication between our higher self and our lower self. So how we do that? They showed you with Mark a little bit when he at the crib, when he at home, when his outer is at home, he drink all the goddamn time. Being severed still ain't solved his problems. He's still a motherfucking alcoholic. He just ain't an alcoholic 24 hours out the day. He an alcoholic 16 hours out the day when he ain't at the corp. When he ain't in hell, he an alcoholic. So everything is the same. He still feels pain. He still feels that anguish from his wife's death. But now, when he's in hell, he's so fucking medicated, so disassociated. He's disassociated the pain. And that disassociated pain pops back up. And either, hey, you acting out like Helly, you gonna act out. Oh, baby, you gonna act out. You might commit self-harm. You might do any type of substances to numb yourself from the reality that you put yourself in this goddamn situation. And you continue to put yourself in this goddamn situation every day. Why? Because you got bills. Oh, word. That's what they told us, right? They told us we have bills. They told us, the wizards told us, we came on this motherfucker that we have bills, G. They told us when we came in this bitch, we had bills. We had rent to pay. They told us we had to pay for water. We had to pay for food. We had to pay for shelter. That's what they told us. And we believe it still. Because we still scared of that stick. Most of us have already given up on the goddamn carrot. But we still scared of that goddamn stick. Most of us not even offered the carrot, B. Most of us aren't even offered the carrot. But there's still the fear of the stick. So I'm interested in what season 2 of Severance has to say. Aesthetically, it's not very, how should I say? It's not very original. Aesthetically, no. You see these in a lot of older shows and films that try to have that Stepford-ish aesthetic that's the type of decor that they design their sets with, which is kind of like a quasi 60s retro type of vibe. 60s, early 70s retro type of vibe. So yeah, there's not much originality there. not much originality with the computerized dumbass, worthless, mindless, menial tasks that they have to complete every day. But I do applaud the messaging. I mean, even though I feel like, again, I don't feel like this was difficult to understand. I don't feel like there's a bunch of puzzles that need to be dissected. I don't even think there needs to be a shitload of character study. I mean, we've seen this series several times previously in other forms, and even dare I say with well, I won't say, and the one thing I give this series too is the acting. That's what take the shit over the top right there. The acting. It's got my man John Turturro, which you already know, workhorse, stalwart. You know what I'm saying? Go way back, like seats in the old Cadillac. Spike Lee, do the right thing. That's the first time I saw John Turturro in the film. Still doing his goddamn thing. Decades later, still beasting. I don't know the other people. The other brother, I know of them, don't know their names or their acting history or any of that. Though I would have to say they did their thing. They put in their work. Oh, besides, excuse me, I do know what's her name, Patricia Arquette, excellent actress. She did her thing too. Who played the head head bitch in charge, HBIC, with the white hair. I can't think of her name. Miss McGillicuddy or some bullshit in here. Whatever her name is in here. Yeah, she did her thing. John Turturro did his thing. Petey did his thing. The other little light skinned brother, he was in something else. He's been a couple other things that I've seen. He plays the techie nerd type. He's typecast, which he should be. Shit, I mean, look at him. But yeah, and I really like the brother though. I don't know any of his prior work, but he did. The brother who played the supervisor did the damn thing. I love that he was, to me, a fresh face. Because again, in series like this or in films like this, the surrealist, absurdist, sci-fi type of vibe, it helps when you have actors that are of less note, because then you can suspend disbelief more readily, because it's not like, oh, I'm looking at Will Smith, nigga. No, I'm looking at whoever act this role, and I can get into it more because I'm not looking at someone who I know their alter personality in what they call the real world. But yeah, looking forward to season 2. Looking to see where they are going with this. I'm looking to see where can they go with this, actually, to see if they are going to come with something original, or if this is going to be one of them shows where they're actually surprised that they got greenlit for a second season, and so now they got to pull a rabbit out their ass. I don't know. We're going to see. Another interesting parallel that I found, that as I have it paused on season 1, episode 3, and then we're looking at the parking lot of the of Lumen, which of course was I forgot to say, yeah, the company's name, Lumen, not very heavily veiled attempt at saying the Illuminati. Yeah, okay, niggas is Illuminati. Fact, the wizards, niggas with the keys to Oz. Yeah, as I'm looking at, I'm at the 51 25 minute mark, 51 minute 25 second mark, and it looks almost identical to a scene from Fargo, where old boy from Fargo, and I forgot his name too, but everybody, y'all know who I'm talking about from Fargo, when he comes out, and his car is the only one, and he been up in there talking to his father-in-law for forever, trying to scam this nigga out some money for this goddamn parking lot. This is the harder working scamming ass bitch ass nigga. If he put as much effort into actually working as this nigga did scamming, he would have made something from himself. But anywho, that's the story of life and times of the colonialists, right? But so yeah, I see a parallel between that emptiness that expands and the loneliness that's expressed from the one car there in a sea of in a sea of concrete, right, with the bleak backdrop of the corporation far away in the expanse, and then Mark being paralleled like old boy was from Fargo, standing by his car, basically, wondering what the fuck he about to do next. They at a crossroads. They feel alone, of course, for many very different reasons, but this is one of the tropes that, in white man movies about themselves, this is one of their tropes, I guess, carried over from the expanse, the feel, this is like the modern Western, right? The concrete jungle, the desert expanse and the mountain valley expanse is given away to the modern concrete jungle, the new corporate, the cowboy, right, with the existential crisis. But anywho, I can ramble on and on because again, yeah, it's a decent little show. Very simple, but very decent. I like the little twists and turns in it, and yeah, I'm just ready to see what season 2 has in store.